day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and we are at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park here in the state of Colorado, in the very southwestern part of Colorado. Located 264 miles southwest of Denver and 75 miles southeast of Grand Junction in the state of Colorado, Black Canyon of the Gunnison sits between the town of Montrose and Gunnison. This park was designated as a national monument back in 1933 and then was established as a national park on October 21st of 1999. The park is 30,750 acres, or about 48 square miles in size, and receives about 350,000 visitors per year. The Gunnison River that cuts through the canyon is 48 miles long, and the park contains 12 miles of the deepest and most dramatic section of the canyon. The canyon is 2,755 feet deep, and in some section is only 40 feet wide at the base of the river. Black Canyon out of Gunnison National Park exposes some of the steepest cliffs, oldest rock, craggiest spires in North America. Millions of years ago, the powerful Gunnison River chewed through this soft volcanic rock like a saw blade, creating the slot for the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. Once the river had carved its initial channel, it remained there, chipping away at the hard volcanic rock below. The vertical canyon walls are so tough that they barely retreated. Traveling east of the town of Montrose, Colorado, you gain 2,200 feet in elevation as you enter into the national park. National Parks Visitor Center is a great first stop when you visit a national park for the first time. This park has two visitor centers, one on the north rim and one located on the south rim of the canyon. The visitor center has exhibits, information, book and map sales, water, restrooms, and hiking trailheads. The Black Canyon of the Gunnison has the deepest depth, steepness, and narrowness of any canyon in North America. This park is very unique because the canyon serves as a spectacular window into our Earth's deep history, revealing ancient rocks exposed when the Gunnison River, with its deep gradient and powerful flow, slowly cut through these incredibly hard rocks over millions of years, creating the canyon's steep and narrow walls. Most widespread rock in this park is gneiss, noted for its dark colors and lighter stripes that are often folded into wave-like shapes. It is a metamorphic rock, meaning it has changed from its original rock by intense heat and pressure. Schist, similar to gneiss, is another type of metamorphic rock. Look for its dark color, thin layers, and glittery appearance. At 1.8 billion years old, these rocks are some of the oldest on Earth. Here in the Visitor Center, it's a very nice little visitor center with some displays and some information. Park rangers. You walk out the back door, you can go on to the Gunnison Point overlook, or the viewpoint, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go out here to the Gunnison Point Trail, which is point 3. This is the back deck. It goes out to that point right there. Pretty cool. A couple folks out there on the end. Getting a great view of the canyon wall. And it just goes along here, right off the back deck. Oh, there's a little guy. It's one of the places. They got a picnic table and some benches. It looks like a log cabin. That's kind of cool. But this is the way down to the viewpoint. Really pretty this morning. And it does branch off to the Oak Flat Loop. The Oak Flat Loop is 2 miles. They recommend you do. No dogs allowed on that one, but you can do it on any, take the dogs on any viewpoint, overlook. This one's 2 miles. It has quite a drop down. They recommend that you do it counterclockwise, so to the left first. And this is the view here on the trail. There's the visitor center perched up on top of the hill above the canyon wall. Really cool location that they put it in. Of any visitor center that I've been to. But there's a little bench here. You just sit and enjoy. There's some more benches along that walkway. You can hear the river down below. And this goes out to the point. It's not ADA accessible, but easily done by anybody that can navigate it. Really peaceful, birds flying in the canyon. And it's around 8:30 in the morning, so some folks, this is May the 30th. Just a really pretty view. Goes out to this point. Steep walls. You can see a long way. You see down to the water. You can hear the water as it comes off the canyon here. It's flowing pretty good. So that's Gunnison Point Trail, Point 3. Here on the trail, the visitor center sits up on the top of the rim, and it overlooks, and it's a nice little hike down here, which is dog friendly. See, there's a hi there. Oh, and even the dog is smiling.
Yeah, he sure will.
Right. And so our dogs are in the truck, but maybe we'll bring them on this a little later.
First stop? Yeah, so most of them you can walk out with the dogs.
Out onto the overlooks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And they're decent amount of walking, so I
Great.
suggest it. Yeah. We did Mesa Verde on Saturday. Less walking. Yeah. No, nice and dry.
So this is a little trail, and it's quite a drop down to the bottom. Only 2,250 feet. 2,250. Okay, now we're gonna see a dog fight. No dog fights. Okay. While the canyon isn't the longest or deepest in the country, it is narrow, deep, and dark. Along the 7-mile paved South Rim Drive, we were able to access 12 overlooks with short hikes to stunning canyon views. Pulpit Rock. It says it's 134 yards. It's like 0.3 of a mile. We have a ranger doing a geology talk. So I'll capture a little bit of that for you as well, so we can kind of learn how the canyon was formed over time. But stay tuned, and we'll have some short hikes for you here along the rim of the Black Canyon as of the Gunnison, and we'll have many of the overlooks along the way.
And hardened and re-hardened over the millennia. These rocks are metamorphic rocks. This one is going to be something called gneiss. And yes, this is a pretty big dad joke. I know a lot of people like to say that's a nice rock. But typically, when you look at gneiss, you will see kind of stripes inside of the rock. Now this rock right here is approximately 1.7 billion years old with a B. Does anybody know how old the Earth is? Yeah, about that. Yeah, 4.567 billion years, not to be exact or anything. But yeah, so that means that this rock is about 1/4 of the age of the Earth. But guess what? It's actually even older than that. So when this rock was created, it was likely at the very beginning of our continent here in North America. Because some mountain building right along the coastline of California and Oregon. Now, in that area. Suddenly, the angle of subduction is going to change. And suddenly it's getting very shallow.
So it goes out to that peak, which is out on that rock, the Pulpit Rock. So, and it leads from the parking lot and goes two different directions. Pretty cool. And a couple overlooks as well. There's some information. So we'll just take a little hike down to the Pulpit Rock. So this is one of the overlooks here at Pulpit Rock. Let's take a look. Pretty cool. And you can see the water down below is really really flowing today. Look at that. Look at the canyon walls. And all the lines he was talking about, the ranger was talking about how those are different types of rocks and how they were formed and pressed together. The Gunnison River gets its name after Captain John W. Gunnison, a U.S. Army officer and engineer who led an 1853 expedition to find a navigational route through the Rocky Mountains for a transcontinental railroad. He unfortunately was killed during the survey along with 7 of his survey team when they were attacked by local Native Americans. Pulpit Rock here, Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and that's the large wall there on the north rim, and we're currently on the south rim at the overview. Here at the Pulpit Rock overlook, and that's the overlook into the canyon. And this little interpretive sign starts to talk about the solar shaping. And so it says, why are the sides of the canyon sloped differently? The north side is what you're looking at there. Is the easy answer is to look to the sky for the answer. Our position here on the south rim relative to the sun drives the forces of erosion. In the winter, when Black Canyon receives a majority of its precipitation in the form of snow, the sun is lower in the southern sky, and sunlight shines mostly on the north slope, evaporating moisture off the wall. Snow on the south slope remains throughout the winter and a longer period of time. Melting and refreezing breaks up the south slope's rocks, creating soil for habitat for plants to take root in. So we have a lot more trees and shrubs and different things. Oh, I got a little too close to the edge here. There are no railings here. Just little trip rocks is what I call them, where they would just trip you and off you go. It looks like some people have actually walked down there to the edge, and not for me. The really cool thing about the overlooks and some of the trails here at Black Canyon is that you can bring your dogs as long as they're on a leash. So the dogs are able to come out to Pulpit Rock with us, and I don't know that they enjoyed the view as much as we did, but they got to come out here. And a lot of times national parks don't allow dogs anywhere except for the parking lots and in the campgrounds. So they're allowed in the parking lots, the campgrounds, and on the overlook trails here at the national park. We're at Cross Fishers. It's a short trail. It's only 0.3, so we're going to take the dogs down to the end and the overlook. It's a pretty level hike. It does branch off a couple spots. Hang to the right, and you will have this view. And right now there's some wildflowers going. And here's the overlook right here. So this is the view at the end of the Cross Fishers, and you can't, like Jeff was saying, you can't even see to the bottom of the canyon. It's too steep. It goes straight down the 2,250 feet, and these walls are very jagged. A few things are trying to grow on them. On the north side, you get a couple little trees and bushes. But for the most part, it's pretty vertical, and interesting lines in the different types of rocks that it took to form this. So this is across Fishers, you know, and that's the north rim on that side. Sometimes you can see a car driving on that side, but it's 2 hours if you want to go to both sides of this canyon. It's 2 hours to get all the way around because there's no bridge that takes you across the canyon. So for the most part, all of the overlooks look down into the canyon, but you have to be supersonic careful because there's no railings for the most part, except for the very end peaks where those folks are standing right now. There is a few railings, but all the other locations, like down there, it just drops off. And so if you have small children or a dog, make sure it's on a leash. Well, not so much the children, but make sure you're watching your children and make sure they don't get too close to the edge. I'm sure people have fallen off of this thing, but you have to be really careful because it is very steep and very dangerous. I just wanted to show you. So this is only 0.3, so we walked out here. You can see our camper on the parking lot, and we walked down here. Easy walk, not too much of a elevation change. The Black Canyon is home to the fastest bird in the world, the peregrine falcon, which can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour in an aerial dive. Kind of just get an idea that these rock formations that stick straight up, it looks like you could almost jump and leap over to the next one. But who's gonna try that? Because that's a 2,000-foot drop right over the edge. That's crazy. Just a really cool canyon. Jeff, there's like little cocoon and little worm things. The caterpillar, yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm at Devil's Overlook, and it's 607 yards, or actually round trip 0.5, so half a mile. Somebody on the other side of the canyon. Have a look. This is Devil's Overlook. You can hear the water down below. Trail there behind you. You see certain times of year, this little slot in the canyon also gets water that cascades down from the top, down through here, and joins in with the river below, the Gunnison River, that is. This looks like somebody has tried to make some kind of design in with the different minerals, but nope, it's just nature at work, nature doing its thing. But yeah, that, zoom in on that a little bit so you can see. It's hard to see with the sun in my eyes, but maybe you can see all the different patterns it has in it. The Chasm View Overlook, it's just 0.1, so it's pretty much right on the parking lot area. So it's just a short little walk down. Hi. Just a couple stairs, and then you are out to the viewpoint. Spectacular view of the canyon. They instruct you not to throw rocks because there are hikers below and it could seriously injure someone. And so, clinging to the walls. Just talking about people that are doing the rock climbing. And this is the overview. The overlook here at...
It's the chasm view.
The chasm view is...
And there's the chasm.
Oh, there's the chasm. You can see the water down below. Spectacular. Can look all the way, not 360, but quite a ways around. You can see the
River in the canyon turns that way from here.
yeah, makes a bank here is what Jeff was saying. You can hear that water. It echoes up through these canyon walls. We are at the Painted Wall. This is the most famous overlook and little short hike. It's only 0.2 of a mile, so about 200 yards down to the overview, the overlook. So we're gonna take a little hike down there. Beautiful little wildflowers all blooming along the trail. Look at that. You got some oranges and some yellows, and some purples all along here. It's kind of getting cloudier in the afternoon, but it's kind of nice, refreshing. 70s degrees. This almost looks like a little garden, a little wildflower garden. Painted Wall hike. Jeff's already out there with the dogs. Hike. Just a little bit further. And there it is. Painted Wall. It's a beautiful view. Look at that. Wow. That's the famous Painted Wall. Look at that. At the Painted Wall here at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and it's pretty cool because it is a sheer cliff and it has lots of different little markings in it from other rocks and minerals that are making little streaks in it. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see. And the interesting thing about this particular wall is that it's 2,250 feet tall from the river down at the bottom there to the very top. And It's the tallest cliff in the state of Colorado and the third tallest in the lower 48, and second to El Capitan and in Yosemite and Notch Peak. The rocks exposed down at the bottom of the canyon there are 2 billion years old. So really old. They date back from the Precambrian era. So the Black Canyon of the Gunnison is not named for the color of the rocks, but they are very dark in color. It's named because it's so deep and so narrow that twilight or the sunlight doesn't actually hit the bottom for very long. Right now it's hitting the bottom from that particular angle, but a lot of times it's just dark because it's shaded most of the day. And oh, there's a bird flying. I don't know if you can see that. But this park is interesting because it protects the deepest and most spectacular 12 miles of this 48-mile long canyon, and it kind of makes a curve here and goes around. So the Painted Wall is the most photographed spot in the park. So it's pretty high elevation. They get a lot of snow in the winter months, but yeah, very cool. Just giving you a 360-degree view. You have some birds there praying because they probably make their nest in the canyon walls. But very, very cool to see the river, the longest part of the river here. You can see, and it's visible from this viewing point. So if you do come to Black Canyon, the Gunnison, make sure you do stop at this point, which is the Painted Wall. Looks like somebody has painted in some different kind of lines in it, but it's all natural. Mother Nature made all that. The Painted Wall, where intruders like minerals such as gneiss and pegmatite bring life and artistry to the Painted Wall. In pegmatite, you mostly see quartz, feldspar, and mica. When we visit national parks, Jeff enjoys collecting a souvenir from each park. On this adventure, he bought a puzzle and completed it later at home. And we are at the Cedar Point Nature Trail. And it does say right on the maps that this is dog friendly, so you can take your dog on a leash down this trail. I think there's interpretive signs about the different type of nature you're going to see. Rabbit brush. Look at that. Flowers, leaves, woody stems, so the plants sustain life with animals. Rabbit brush. That's the flower on it. Kind of a little white flower. This one's pretty cute. I don't think that's rabbit brush. I think that's pepper. But
Hey, this is the pinyon pine, and this is where you get your common pine nuts that you find in the grocery store. Comes from this tree.
pinyon pine nuts are actually seeds and not nuts, a traditional staple in Native Americans' diets. They are a delicious and nutritious seed, harvested from the cones in the fall, used in delicious dishes like pesto for their rich buttery flavor. Another good overlook here on the Cedar Point Trail for the painted wall. So I just wanted to show you that again. This is a Rocky Mountain juniper. A lot of junipers out there in the end. And they do, oh wow, that's a great view. There's the painted wall. Yeah, you take phone with both hands because that's a spectacular view. Painted wall. And there's two overlooks here. The canyon shear walls are taller than Chicago's Willis Tower, with its inner wall width only at 1,100 feet at its thinnest, allowing only minutes of sunlight per day. Below the Chisholm View overlook, the canyon shrinks only to 40 feet, creating monstrous rapids on the Gunnison River. We're at the Warner Point Trail, which is at the very end of the road for the scenic drive. And it says it's 1,373 yards. So round trip, that's like 1.5 miles.
And that's the juniper tree where they make gin out of.
We're at the High Point overlook, and this is the highest point you can get on the scenic drive.
Super clear day.
Super
These
clear
are the
day.
West Elk Mountains.
The West Elk Mountains still have snow on them, so it's a great view from up here at the very top along the scenic drive. We're at the Sunset View overlook, and it talks about the turkey vulture and the golden eagle, and the common raven, and the peregrine falcon. There's the view. The sun sets off in the west like that. So I'm gonna go out to the point. There goes Jeff out to the point right now. That is Sunset Point right there. Beautiful view of the canyon. On the Sunset View Trail, which is point 1. Really nice fence work that they did here, the National Park Service. There's Jeff out on the end. We have the sunset view to ourselves. There's the river that snakes through there. What a beautiful view. What do you think? Oh, I see it now. Lower, yeah. Right. Wind's coming through the canyon here. Sunset view. Yeah, sunset. We'll see what it looks like. grand view. We're at the Tamichi Overlook Viewpoint here at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and it's just right there, and it's really a grand view, and it's one of the first points that you come to as you come into the park. The National Park Service has nice fencing along here, and they've got restrooms that look log cabin looking, and it's real nice. They do a really good job. We camped overnight in one of the 102 camping spots located at the South Rim Campground. Each campsite has a picnic table, fire ring with cooking grate, bear safe box, and lots of room for equipment. We attended the evening ranger-led program at the amphitheater after dinner and learned interesting facts about the 8 species of bats that live in the canyon cliffs, walls, caves, and trees in the forest. The smallest bat in the Black Canyon of the Gunnison is a canyon bat, and larger ones like the hoary bat.
Stomp your feet if you think this is true. Stomp your feet if you think this is false. Awesome, I like that. It is false. So bats are very, very curious animals. They're very intelligent for their size. They might fly up and investigate what you are. Sometimes I've been buzzed by bats that fly really close to me, and they're just coming to check you out. They're like, oh, this isn't a bug I can eat. Now I'm gonna fly off. But they've never, I have long hair, and they've never gotten tangled in my hair, so. Bat guano was used to make gunpowder. This was a little bit harder. So stomp your feet if you think this is true. Stomp your feet if you think this is false. Awesome. So this is actually true. During the American Civil War, because of the blockade of the Union and the Confederacy was running out of gunpowder, and they realized that gunpowder, nitrogen, or the bat scat, bat guano, was extremely rich in nitrogen, and they were able to turn that into gunpowder. So they started mining bat caves pretty extensively in Texas and stuff, because there's big colonies of bats in Texas to pick up.
We are along the South Rim Trail. It's called the Rim Rock Nature Trail, and it starts here at the campground and it proceeds all the way to the Visitor Center. It's 1 mile total. It would be 2 miles round trip. So it's got great views of the rim of the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. Just a little ways in, it splits off to the Uplands Trail that goes back up the hill, or it continues on this way to the Visitor Center and the back of the way I came to the campground. So it has a lot of trees, these small oak trees, and it's very shaded. Early morning, it's around 8 o'clock, so it's a very pleasant trail. Haven't come across anyone yet. Some wildflowers, and should open up to a view here in just a second. So as you proceed down the trail, it starts to open up to the view, and you just walk along the edge. Be very careful, because there's not a lot of railings. You can see the view. Goes straight down, but it still hugs the canyon wall. Proceeding along the trail, it's a viewpoint where it kind of drops off into the canyon, and you can see Tamichi Point viewpoint right there. Goes along the base of it. It's one of the first spots you can drive to. So proceeds along there. There's a little bench here right below the Tamichi Point that you can drive to. You walk down here and there's a bench, and that's the view. A little spot where you can stand over the edge and look down. I'm not going to get that close. That's the view of the canyon. You can kind of see the campground over there where I started. And peaceful. The trail, about halfway point, there's a restroom. We're at Tamichi Point. And all the way onto the visitor center. Several spots along the trail that you can walk out and visit the viewpoints. Kind of see a different angle down into the canyon. So along the trail here, it opens up to several little viewpoints, and that's the other side of the canyon. You can walk along this narrow little rock outcropping to the end, and it kind of drops off here. So let's see. Okay. Side is the north rim, and there's camping spots over there. There's a couple viewpoints, but the south rim definitely has a better angle of things and much more to offer, so you have to do one. Definitely the south rim is the way to go. It's still kind of high. My knees are getting a little wobbly here. To the end of the trail there, that's the visitor center right around the corner, and the terminus of the Rim Rock Trail, nature trail. Really pretty. You can start at either end. It's a great little walk. Thanks so much for joining us on our adventure here at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more travel adventures like this one. Whatever you're doing today, get out to the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile.